Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. Been a while. You can blame the heat for that. Telling you, this heat make you rethink everything you got planned and make you do something totally different. So, first off, I did hear about the Michael Jamal Moore, the actor from Bill Cosby and forgot what else he played in, but I did see the story about him drowning and dying. And my thoughts on that is, I don't think for a second nothing came to my mind as far as, is this some Illuminati or whatever. When I was a kid, I actually got caught up in a riptide, and this actually created a phobia that I didn't never want to go to the beach again. Outside of the fact that the news kept saying sharks and jellyfish were like in 5 feet of water, I didn't want to go to the beach because I was so scared that as a little kid, and I mean undersized kid, kind of like the runt of the bunch, I was always afraid that, that water would snatch me up and just take me away. I actually had that experience. And I mean, my heart was racing and I was just scared. So when I seen that the brother died from drowning, that's just an unfortunate loss, man. That really is. To get any type of news that a loved one has passed away for any reason, that's hard to take, especially if you know that they didn't deserve it. You got a lot of questions as far as, well, why him? Why did it have to happen to him? So I did get a chance to see that. And I also just woke up to the news that Hulk Hogan has passed away. I don't know what from yet. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with something culinary. But I haven't watched any channels that are talking about it just of yet. But I did see the news as far as that happening to him. Now, Donald Trump and this Epstein list and all of this stuff has really created a distraction from, I don't believe any of these stories are organic. I don't believe any of these stories are put out to inform the masses, to help us make better decisions on the daily. Hell no. I don't believe that for 1 second. What I believe is that this is a distraction from whatever the hell they want to distract us from. And my thoughts on it is, it's an open and shut case. This is somebody who said he was friends with Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and shout out to Too Raw for Sports, because he just made a video saying that the deposition that Epstein did about 8 years ago that came out, where he just kept pleading the fifth and didn't want to really answer any questions and stuff like that. So I did get a chance to see that. And I'm someone who thinks that this is all a game, and it shows the stupidity in the average American that Donald Trump is not instantly rebuked. And do I believe he's on the list? Absolutely. But you have to understand that a lot of these things are pre-planned years ahead of time, okay? And being that they're planned way ahead of time, it always leaves room for doubt as to, why are y'all making this some big deal? Because if you didn't want it to be a big deal, it would not be a big deal. There's always something going on in the news to keep our nose up in the air, opposed to down on the ground, to really know what's going on. How many, certain laws being passed and certain inner workings going on behind the scenes to steer us Americans in a direction that's real immoral. So I have been keeping up with the Jeffrey Epstein deal. Right now, the Sean Puffy Combs stuff is just kind of gone away. Let's see. In other news, I did talk about in another video that I don't even know if I made it yet, but I did talk about Goldberg, the Bill Goldberg of WWE, being pretty upset with the fact that his farewell match was a loss versus somebody, I think Gunther. WWE has consistently disgusted me, consistently, with their booking, because WWE has always struggled with an audience based for kids and then an audience based for young adults. There really isn't a third one. It's just kids and young adults. So you can kind of one of the things that I always laughed at was Booker T and Stone Cold having their little skirmish in the grocery shop. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And if somebody was to ask me, well, what would you want to keep that in history or take that away from history? I would have kept it. But if I was ever writing anything for WWE, I'm telling y'all right now, WWE, if I ran shit, would probably be on HBO or Paramount, because I would have moments that, first of all, if I sign you to a contract, you are not allowed for a number of years to make any type of film where in the WWE you are known as The Rock. But you are not allowed to then go make a movie called The Tooth Fairy, where you're in a tutu and you being emasculated. I'm not for that. Okay? Not for 1 second. I'm not. And if you want to go off and do a movie, the movie has to be based around your character. It has to be based around, if you're Randy Orton, you have to be known. If you go do a movie, then you got to be damn near on the level like a motherfucking John Wick. So that when my audience see you outside of wrestling, they can say like, man, that dude's a badass, bro. He's a badass in movies. Another thing, a lot of the wrestlers that if you are being seen in the public eye like John Cena, right? If you're John Cena, I wouldn't be embarrassed to be courtside at a basketball game or a football game wearing my wrestling attire, which is a t-shirt, a hat, the armbands, blah, 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 right? And I wouldn't be embarrassed to wear that because somebody would see me and say, oh man, there's John Cena, and it's just him. And so John can wave and do everything he does as a babyface, and never really give up what they call in wrestling kayfabe, which is never giving up the fact that, bro, we know it's fake, but we're always in character. You're not gonna see the Undertaker at a Lakers game courtside. It's gonna ruin his entire character. So Bill Goldberg, hell, for the sake of when you get up in age like that, Sting, Goldberg, the Undertaker, when these guys get up in age and they can't perform certain bumps and stuff, bumps meaning when you just, all the falls that wrestlers take, that they're making themselves fall. So that hurts your body. When you're standing up in your bed and you jump in and you just, throw your head back and hit the mattress. Imagine doing that on like a yoga mat or something. That shit's gonna hurt. So, I've never been a fan of the way WWE has written things, because they do it almost for an audience that is very lowbrow. For Donald Trump to be a fan of wrestling is a bad idea, because this should be something, one of the things that I always did on the game was if I have to bring back a legendary wrestler, everybody starts at the bottom. If there are 10 people underneath the champion, and let's say I'm Sting, I don't give a fuck who you are. It creates the atmosphere of some type of some type of atmosphere of competition to say, okay, you want to come back into wrestling, you're going to have to face the number 10 spot, which is whoever that might be. And you're going to spend several weeks crawling up the rankings. So it will be somewhat of a, what you would say, this is a young man's game, bro. If I go back into wrestling, I know without a doubt I'm going to have to face guys in their 20s and their 30s, and they're fast and they jump high and stuff like that. And it will really show, you know, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. I don't care who you guys are. If y'all see how I play the video game, all these people start at the bottom. And it's a win-win, because if you're somebody like, I had to bring back Sting. I've had WWE for so long, but I've had so much respect for the wrestlers of the past. Stone Cold, The Rock, Sting, Undertaker, all these people. I don't wrestle with them on the game until I actually need to. So I brought Sting back because my heavyweight championship division was a little short. So I had to bring back Sting. Sting had to go all the way down to the bottom and work his way all the way up. Sting will have 6-7 fights or matches under his belt to say, I'm undefeated. I became the number one contender for the championship, and I've clawed my way all the way to the top. If you lose, you go back down to the 5 spot. You don't plummet all the way back down. You'll either get an immediate rematch or you'll go back down to the 5 slot. So you have to work your way up to 4, 3, 2, back to 1. So it's a very, it's out of respect for the sport. It's out of respect for the art of wrestling. So I found that, you know, Goldberg said, man, nah, fuck that. I'm going to retire the way I want to retire, the way I think I should go out. And I agree with that, man, because WWE will have your ass wrestling Sasha Banks or some shit for the World Heavyweight Championship. They'll have her jackknife Goldberg, spear Goldberg, and it's just a mess. A mess. And you'll have YouTube channels. Oh, the show last night was, man, shout out to Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette still has his foot on the neck of wrestling and how easy it is, yet y'all make it so complicated. I've already given I made a video the other day when I walked to Walmart and I seen people looped around Walmart. First thing that came to my mind was, did somebody shoot up the damn store? That's the first thing I thought, was like there was a mass shooting or something. And I got further there and I seen people were like, they were looped around the store, but they were looped around going back to the back of the store. I was thinking, like, what the hell's going on? Next thing I know, I see all these championship belts and all this shit. And it's Penta. Penta then came to the Walmart to meet the kids and all this other stuff, right? Don't like the guy as far as the wrestler. The character is so... How many of these guys, you know, that they prey on... They I can say prey, but their whole gimmick is centered around being different. Being an enigma. You know, kind of the first... You know, you think about the Boogeyman. For those who remember the Boogeyman, I'm the Boogeyman, I'm coming to get you. He'll walk out and he'll have that clock and he'll smash that clock on his head, and that the flames will go up in the background and he start his Boogeyman dance. I'm not finna do it, but y'all know the Boogeyman dance, right? Okay. So then you have somebody like a Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy come out, he do his, you know, come out like that, he do a little thing like this here. And then he do his dance, and, you know, everybody kind of like, you would never be doing that in the club. You wouldn't be doing that at your house. You probably wouldn't even be doing that listening into any type of metal. But he does the dance, and it's awesome. One of my favorite, just thinking about it right now, was when that nigga came out. This was back when SmackDown had the fist, the emblem. And it came out in that neon paint. It hit that hole like that. Oh my God, he was just splashing that. Hey man, as a kid, that was one of the most coolest things I ever saw, man. He came drenched in that damn neon paint or whatever, and he was like glowing, and man, it was just awesome stuff, man. But you know, and I'm not a fan of when these wrestlers try to kill each other to be the wrestler to say, oh, well, I did something different. Yeah, but you almost killed yourself and your partner here, just for the sake of wanting to be different. Rhea Ripley, you know, it's just a lot of junk I don't like about wrestling. I've already stated my opinion before. And the last thing I want to talk about before I make another video about something else, I got to get ready to go. Y'all, it's hot. So I got to go get something to eat. Come on back. But, my health has been improved significantly. I have, I took it upon myself to find a testosterone booster. When I was in Walmart, I would you know, occasionally go over to the, you know, the supplement spot, and I would look around, and I said, man, you know, let me try this testosterone booster. And I must say, it has been one of the most vital supplements that I have been missing in my life, because I've already said this. My body, my nerves, my muscles, and all of that are undersized. Okay? And this is because I consider myself somewhat the runt of all my brothers. Something that I do believe, if I never would have started smoking and stuff like that, I don't believe it would have been this bad. But the years and years and years of taking medicine to get rid of headaches, I believe, have zapped my testosterone levels in a way that it has completely broke me down. And when I say broke me down, this is why I could not have a job. This is why, and you might be like, well, man, you said this is why you couldn't have. No, a lot of the reasons why I couldn't keep a job in the past is because of my physical ailments. The migraines, the excessive pill taking, thus hurting, like ripping up my stomach, you know, not being able to digest food and stuff like that naturally. I just completely screwed my body in a way that I was suffering, especially under these type of situations. This extreme heat like this. So by me taking testosterone booster, it has increased my mental performance. It basically is helping me catch up to where I should have been all of these years when it comes to muscle mass. There's no reason for me to be 128, 130, 135 pounds. There's no reason. As much as I eat, it doesn't make any sense. My chest was extremely undeveloped. My calf muscles. This is why these type of walks would just devastate me, because of the aches and pains of my body. And it would just completely tear me down. And this is why at work I would start to get grumpy. This is why if I didn't try to if I didn't take care of my appetite, then it would just start to just pull down everything else outside of my appetite. Just my sleeping and all of that. So yeah, the testosterone booster has helped. I've had 2 bottles, so I'm going, now I'm on my off cycle where I'm not taking anything for at least 2 weeks as far as that goes. But I've gained almost 30 pounds of muscle. And then y'all might be like, man, that's crazy. I mean, you seen me sitting down, crisscross. Go back and look at some of them other videos where just go back and see how skinny, how frail, you know. Now I'm starting to have that bubble look. Everything is rounded off. You know, my sleep, the migraines are not as bad. Man, I'm telling y'all, man, the nerves, the muscles, all of that stuff have been just, even stuff like this, man, being in this heat, just the raising of testosterone helps me deal with it, like, a little bit better. Helps me just be like, it pretty much cool my body down about 5-6 degrees to where I'm not even sweating profusely. So I'm noticing, like, God damn, bro. So I can see how people will actually get on. I see how easy it is to slip off into something else, because you do feel just a stupid amount of strength that you didn't never feel in your life. All the walking that I've ever done, all the exercise that I've ever done, just the demanding lifestyle I live, hell, my body should be where it is now. It should be like that naturally. I should be working on what I've done in a year almost. I should have been already there, and then working on, going up from there. But this is how far I've come with my health and how bad it used to be. Just how, oh my God, man. Ruined so many jobs because I felt like I really needed to eat. And if I didn't eat, then I wouldn't be able to complete the shift. So I'm doing things to get food in my system, rather that's ask somebody for money, or the case at the when I worked for Family Dollar, and I was asking her, like, hey, I'm gonna pay all of this stuff back. Can I write it down? I haven't got my first check yet. And I was like, man, how the hell do people go to fucking work all day and like literally don't even eat anything? I don't know anybody who has the migraines like I have. I don't know anybody who has the body aches that I have. But now I'm starting to catch up. And I swear, man, if it wasn't for all these fucking all the headache pills, bro, man, it almost feels like I should have been in the military. Something to challenge me on a greater level than what I'm being challenged now. That's what the raising of the testosterone has done to me. It's like, there has to be more to this. There has to be more. So, what they say, that the additives of creatine and testosterone and stuff like that, oh boy, I feel like a machine. Like a machine. 2 years ago, trying to crawl out of a tent in this type of heat, man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't have done it. And I'll show y'all on the way back. Somebody had a free garage sale, man, and these are the moments where I tell y'all, being spiritual, one of them, it means you will never have an abundance of anything. You'll always have just what you need. And I was walking back from doing laundry in the same heat, and I saw the sign, and I see dude, he had the free garage sale, and I look, and it was a big ass warehouse. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm getting rid of a lot of this stuff. It just got to go. I was like, holy shit. So I go looking around, and give me one of these waters. I go looking around, and of course the Mexicans out there and shit. Everybody's shopping, and everything's free. Everything was free. And I love ice. So yeah, everything's been okay. This heat is a motherfucker, man, but if y'all don't know by now, my father, because of my brother's passing, committing suicide, my dad offered me an opportunity to come back home. I could have been back home, but I would have been struggling like a motherfucker to make it all the way back to Houston to come to work, and then all the way back home to it would have been impossible. So I told him, like, hey, man, just give me one more year. And people might hear this and be like, one more year? Man, what the fuck you talking about, bro? You outside, nigga. And that's what everybody said. Like, how could you say that? How could you say something like that, man? You outside. I know what most motherfuckers would do. Come crawling and shit like that, man. My dad, I know my father is proud of me too, and it's unintentional. I don't look to make this nigga happy. It is what it is. But I knew from the get-go, like, bro, I didn't already got this far. And if we want to tell the truth, that's really what it is. Is like, bro, y'all niggas, y'all done waited this long, bro. Y'all done waited this long, and then this tragedy had to come on the family for y'all to say, oh, okay, well, man, I told you, it broke my heart, bro. It broke my motherfucking heart to go to my people's house and see all them pictures. And I'm wondering, like, when y'all take these pictures? And these niggas got pictures of the grandkids and all that. I'm like, what the heck, bro? It broke my heart because I'm thinking, like, bro, at some point y'all had to, like, not even... Like, at some point, y'all had to just not even acknowledge the fact that, like, hey, bro, y'all want to go pick up CJ? Anybody talk to CJ? Or anything like that? So, like I told y'all, my mama was like, when nobody knew what was going on with CJ and where CJ was, Jerry knew where CJ was. And he did. My little brother he knew where I was, not because I was wanting him to know. It's because, like, when I needed help, he was the only motherfucker that would just be available to help me. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, you know, it took all of this for y'all to be like, oh, wait, whoa, let's slow down and try to figure out what kind of legacy are we going to leave behind for our kids. You goddamn right. Because y'all are failing miserably. Well, because like I said, bro, like, they was hanging on like, oh, well, you know, Jerry got a girlfriend and a car and all of this stuff. I told y'all, my people are very materialistic. For people who call themselves godly, they're very materialistic. Very. And I do believe, for whatever crazy reason, my little brother had to go for my parents to not only pay attention to myself, but just pay attention to people, man, period. You know what I mean? Like, you motherfuckers really had life fucked up because y'all were like these Tyler Perry like Christians. Y'all took everything as a joke. Y'all never took anything serious unless it was, serious. So now y'all have came down to my level of frequency. Literally, y'all have had to come down to my level, which is the level that y'all will assume is just, oh, that's negative. He never positive. No, motherfucker, I just live in reality. And in reality, there's not a lot of positivity. Unfortunately, in reality, there's not a lot of positivity going on. There's a lot of scumbaggery, skullduggery, half-assery, full of shittery going on, man. It is what it is. That's why I said I already know how niggas speak on my name when I'm not at work. They say stuff, dude, Charles negative. No, you just a negative representation of life. So if I'm talking about something negative, it has to be because you prompted me to. Ain't got shit to talk about, motherfucker. You're just a dummy. And being dumb, sorry, that's a negative attribute. That's a negative attribute, to be dumb. That's why I said, man, that whole thing going on at work, I got a little time to tell y'all about that. Like I said, the whole thing at work with me and this nigga was, he had decided that, because I told y'all, when I come in over, man, I don't say nothing to this nigga. Because that shit is fake. It's not real. All that, yelling my name and all that, Charles and all that, like I ain't tripping on that. What I'm tripping on is how I know and I even told him to his face. I said, bro, you've mastered the art of bullshit. Like, you've mastered this whole ability to just, like, provide lip service. That's all you do. You just provide lip service. Yeah, like, so, yeah, no shit. who you said did it? Like, bro, I already, you're a whole fucking, people that are highly intelligent like myself, bro, I will just throw you off a cliff. Like, you serve no purpose to humanity. And I mean, like, not even for women, bro. Like, you don't put women in their place. And when I say put them in their place is when they come up to you talking all this negative jargon. Oh, I can't stand her. Why they doing this? You just sit there and feed into it. Yeah, well, you know that's how they is, though. Man, shut up. Fucking punk. So anyway, this dude actually decided one day that he was gonna watch me make all this food. And he started seeing that, like, I didn't have a problem with him at first, because I told you, bro, it's making pizza. Like, this shit is not rocket science. So he walked over and he was like, he seen shit like starting to pile up and was like, man, come on, man, so I can get ready to go. And I was like, what the fuck you mean, come on? And he was like, I'm telling you, like, come on, man, I'm trying to get out of here. And I'm like, nigga, go, you can go. You can take your bitch ass home, bro. This shit ain't like, this ain't Japanese arithmetic. The fuck out of here, ho. Like, bro, I'll start going on. Like, get out. Like, bro, you don't have to stay here. Ain't nobody making you stay here. And so he walked off the line or whatever, and he went to go tell. And so he was just, man, I don't want to cook no goddamn rice, but this is gonna save me a meal. But he called Janet and was like, Janet, he was mean to me. And I'm trying to tell him I'm going home. I already know how the story was told. That cocksucker was like, oh, well, I tried to help him, and he just said he didn't want the help. That's how he told the story. You already know that's how he told the story. I tried to help Charles, and Charles blew me off. Charles didn't want my help, and I'm mad, so I'm leaving. That's how he told the story. Janet asked me, she was like, what happened with you and him? And I was like, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Like, I'm not gonna do what he do and just try to make it, like, tell the story the way it come out in my favor. Nah, I'm gonna tell you what happened. This bitch ass nigga be riding the clock, bro. He ain't doing nothing while he here. And she knew what I was talking about. Shit, we just had that Keon, the nigga that was gay that I told y'all that I had the recording about, and they was like, you heard her. She was like, well, I'm gonna get Carla to fire you and all. That same dude, this nigga just quit. He ain't quit, but he wanted to go to another store because him and George not getting along. Go figure. You see? So you so quick to try to put a label on me of somebody. You're not gonna talk about people, and nobody's judging you. Woman, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And now she the one that looks dumb at the end of the day because I was right. I overheard her talking in the office. She was telling one of the other managers. She was like, yeah, he says he doesn't want to work. He doesn't want to work with George no more because they don't get along. And I just told him that, like, you got to get along with everybody. Say what? You mean George, the guy that, you know, tried to censor me from saying what I wanted to say and all this other shit because he felt like I'm about to get him, nigga, bro. So that felt so good. Actually having proven my point without having to say a thing, like say a word. That nigga there, he was just like, cause he said in the group chat, he was like, I'm sorry. He said, he was like, thanks guys, thanks for accepting me at this store and all this other stuff. And he was like, and just don't let anybody disrespect you. So he was like, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, what the fuck happened? Like, where'd he go? Where you going? And sure enough, he was already, you know, on his way out the door. And then somebody who just, you know, an attention-seeking sack of shit. We had to do these food handler license deals, and nobody wanted to do the shit, right? Nobody wanted to do this shit. So we all just passed it to fucking Madison. We just gave it to her and was like, Madison and Angie. He was like, man, can y'all do this shit? Because there ain't nobody trying to do this shit. And that's why I said if I had a girlfriend, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Baby, do this shit. Because I ain't got no patience for this ignorant bull. So she did it, passed it or whatever, but she just trumpeted, walked around the whole store. I did that. I did it. Y'all welcome. I did that. You good? Yeah, I did that. Goddamn, woman. But when you're a fucking retard, you know, it's a video I saved it on Instagram of they say how to, when you sell something to the Negro is so used to not being acknowledged that when he puts on clothes and go out, he want to be acknowledged because he's so used to not being acknowledged. So that happened. But the schedule got changed. Me and Caesar are not working together. I didn't say nothing. I didn't give a fuck because I knew I was going to literally like push the issue. I was going to ignorantly push the issue, meaning like, don't even make eye contact with me, my nigga. If y'all didn't, he uttered the phrase, "I'll slap the shit out of you," when we had started arguing, and I was like, "What did you say?" And he was like, "I'll slap the shit out of you. I don't know who you." I was like, "Nigga, you touch me, you gonna die. You gonna die in this restaurant." And he put the pizza on the oven, and was like, what? And I was just sitting there like, "You're not gonna do nothing, bro. Shut up talking. Period. Just be quiet." So that's what. And then poor George was like, "Are you and Caesar cool yet?" Nigga, we ain't gonna be cool. I'll give it 7 days and I bet y'all will be talking. All right. You gonna lose that bet, my nigga. I'm not talking some bitch ass nigga. And I was already, when I was taking them testosterone boosters, bro, that shit just mellowed me out. You know, it just kind of made me more quiet, a little aggravated. But I was already just kind of bored with the idea of like, man, let me ask Caesar with him. You know, I don't give a fuck, dude. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. What the hell am I interested in? I'm more interested in talking to George, a 18, 19-year-old, than this 35-year-old dude. You don't know nothing, motherfucker. So I was already getting just kind of bored with just talking to him. The last 2 days before we even got into it, shit, we was barely even saying anything. Like I said, bro, you gonna see you walking here, son, if you want to. You trying to just bro, I already know. That's all game. My mama call that look at me shit. That's all it is. Hey, look at me. Look at me. I can't sing, but I'm trying to sing. Look at me. He really disturbed. He really is disturbed. You can tell him when I walked past him, he looked up and he kind of was like, it was just like a brief moment of like, if I at that moment, I promise y'all, I could have stuck my hand out, he would have shook my hand. Swear to God. I already know it. He would have shook my hand, no problems. But the fact that I walked right past his ass, looked in his face, and then just turned and just hit the bust the right, he was like, and like I say, man, he's a bitch. He'll start mumbling when he see me do stuff like that. Like, I'm listening for him to say something like, something, bro. I don't care what it is. If I think the shit directed at me, I'm gonna turn around so fucking quick. And I told y'all, this is why I'm trying to do the GED and stuff like that and get a grant, start learning trades and shit, so that when I get ready to bust this nigga off or whatever I gotta do, then I got a backup plan. Because see, he's so silly, he don't understand, bro. I'm so fucked off in the head that I'll get you 5 years later, bro. I don't care how long it is. You might totally forget. You know what? I'm not gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget that day that you get off the bus and you about to walk home, and for some, crazy reason, nobody ever hear from you, or the next time somebody hear from you, you got a tube running down your throat and a brace around your fucking neck. And you gonna be walking around like, man, what did it's been 5 years, man. I ain't had no beef with nobody in a minute. Think harder, bro. Who did you say something to that you didn't think would have somebody, or wouldn't have the ability to get you to really to tap your ass up? Think long and hard. Who the last nigga that you said something stupid to? Because you thought that, oh man, this is my perfect opportunity to finally have an argument with Charles so that I can then trumpet the idea that it's Charles' fault. Charles is the main cause of all of this. No, it's not. No, it's not. And see, my brother would have and I thought to myself, if I'd have done anything that I didn't do, I damn sure wouldn't be making this video right now, because I'd probably be hella depressed. I'll be hella depressed from getting fired and then having to start all over, just because I told myself, like, I'm not gonna let nobody, not even for a second, you're not gonna disrespect me. You're not gonna say something to me and say, oh, well, he'll get over it. Nah, bro. No, it's not happening no more. I've been talking for 40 minutes. Goodness gracious. Well, this is what I found at the garage sale. You see that tarp? That is ginormous, okay? That was the only thing I was able to get to, because I had a basket full of clothes. I really had to just hurry up and get home, and I was sweating my ass off. So, let me take care of my duties. Like, share, subscribe, donate to the Cash App, and I'm out.